Football loves its superstars. Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, the names everyone knows. But what about the ones who make football tick without ever stealing the spotlight? The players who, for some reason, never get their flowers? Today, we're counting down 10 of the most underrated players of the last decade. Thomas Müller. In an era of athletic freaks and technical wizards, Thomas Müller is an anomaly. He's not particularly fast, strong, or graceful. He doesn't have the silky skills of Neymar or the sheer power of Ronaldo. What he has is an almost supernatural ability to find space where no one else can see it. This uncanny knack for positioning earned him the nickname Raumdeuter, or interpreter of space. He is a master of intelligent movement, perfectly timing his runs to exploit gaps in the defense. For over a decade, he has been a crucial part of Bayern Munich's dominance, quietly contributing with a staggering number of goals and assists, yet he's often an afterthought in conversations about the world's best players. Müller is the ultimate oddball. He's the guy who looks like he's jogging around aimlessly, but somehow ends up in the perfect position to score every single time. He's like that one friend who always seems to get lucky, but you know it's because he's actually playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He's the footballing equivalent of that friend who somehow passes exams without studying. You hate him for it, but you also secretly admire him. Talk of the town. His chaotic brilliance and unconventional style are so effective that they are a constant source of discussion and debate among football analysts. Santi Cazorla. Now, if Müller is chaos disguised as genius, Santi Cazorla was a midfield magician, a player who made the impossible look routine. What set him apart was his almost superhuman ambidexterity. He was equally brilliant with both his left and right foot. This made him a nightmare for defenders, who never knew which way he was going to turn or pass. He was the metronome of Arsenal's midfield, effortlessly dictating the tempo, splitting defenses with precise passes, and weaving through tight spaces with a smile on his face. He was the embodiment of joy in football, but a series of horrific injuries, including an Achilles tendon injury that almost cost him his foot, sadly overshadowed his peak. Cazorla's two-footed ability was so good, he probably signs autographs with both hands just to show off. He's the type of player who can tie his shoes with either foot. But Cazorla came back. Not just came back, but came back bossing La Liga games like he never left. It was like watching someone beat the final boss of football and then restart the game on hard mode for fun. Talk of the town, his dramatic comeback from career-ending injuries was one of the most inspirational stories in football, a testament to his sheer will that became a huge point of conversation. Every time he touched the ball after returning, it wasn't just skill, it was proof of sheer willpower. Roberto Firmino. When you think of Liverpool's legendary success under Jurgen Klopp, you immediately think of the goal-scoring brilliance of Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. But the real engine of that attack, the man who made it all work, was Roberto Firmino. He wasn't a classic striker, he was a revolutionary false nine. He dropped deep into midfield to link up play, drew defenders out of position, and created crucial space for his fellow attackers. His incredible work rate, defensive pressure, and selfless style often went unnoticed by fans who only looked at the goal count. He was the most selfless superstar in football, a true modern pioneer. Firmino was like the ultimate wingman, always setting up his friends for success and never taking the spotlight for himself. He was so unselfish he probably scored goals, and then immediately looked for someone to thank. Talk of the town. Analysts obsessed over his unique false nine role, fans adored his smile, and opponents feared his work rate. His unique playing style, defined by unselfishness and a knack for scoring no-look goals, was a fascinating talking point. Mousa Dembélé. Mousa Dembélé was a physically dominant midfielder for Tottenham, a player who seemed to have an invisible force field around him. He was described as undispossessable by his own teammates because he had an uncanny ability to shield the ball, turn away from pressure, and glide past defenders with a unique combination of strength of a tank and balance of a ballerina. And no, that's not an exaggeration. The crazy part? He wasn't a stat sheet player. He wasn't a goal scorer or an assist maker, but his value was in his ability to carry the ball from defense to attack, break up opposition presses, and maintain control in the middle of the pitch. His contributions were often invisible on the stat sheet but were absolutely crucial to Tottenham's success. He was so strong on the ball that you could have put 3 defenders on him, and he would still just walk right past them like he was taking a Sunday stroll. He's the guy who can effortlessly carry all the shopping bags from the car in one trip. Talk of the town. His sheer physical dominance and unique dribbling style were a constant source of wonder and discussion for analysts and fans. It became a genuine point of debate especially for Tottenham fans. Gareth Bale. It might seem crazy to call a 5-time Champions League winner underrated, but hear me out. For much of his time at Real Madrid, Gareth Bale's incredible achievements were overshadowed by a hostile media and an impatient fanbase. They criticized him for his injuries, his language barrier, and his love for golf. As a result, his clutch moments, like the stunning overhead kick in the Champions League final, his winner in the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, and his numerous other crucial goals, were often taken for granted. He was a generational talent who delivered on the biggest stages but was never fully embraced by the club's supporters. He was the kind of person who could win a Nobel Prize and people would still only talk about his hobby. The entire situation was so ridiculous. Talk of the town. The drama surrounding his relationship with the club and his iconic Wales Golf Madrid banner created a sensationalized narrative that was constantly a topic of conversation. Mesut Özil. Mesut Özil didn't play football, he painted it. His through balls were brushstrokes. His assists, masterpieces. He was a true genius playmaker. His vision was a step ahead of everyone else on the pitch. I mean, this man could see passes that literally no one else could, and his passes often seemed to defy physics. He led the league in assists on multiple occasions, and his ability to unlock a defense with a single through ball was unmatched. His style, however, was often criticized for being lazy and lethargic, as he would often walk around the field until the exact moment he was needed. This led to a lot of controversy and a lot of critics. But Özil was like that quiet guy in a meeting who says nothing for an hour, then drops one sentence that solves everything. His detractors would always talk about his low work rate, but his final product was simply incredible. Talk of the town. The debate over his work ethic versus his raw creative talent was a constant point of friction among fans and pundits, which made him a polarizing figure. Next up, the footballing Swiss Army knife James Milner. If you look up professionalism in the dictionary, a picture of James Milner should be there. He is the ultimate utility player, a workhorse who has consistently performed at an elite level for multiple top clubs, including Liverpool and Manchester City. He has played every position on the pitch and has done so with a relentless work rate. If Klopp asked him to play goalkeeper, he'd probably save a penalty. Milner's brilliance wasn't flashy. It was consistency, reliability. You could bet your house he'd deliver a 7-10 performance every single week. He has won 3 Premier League titles and a Champions League, yet he's rarely mentioned in the same breath as other superstars. His value is in his versatility, his leadership, and his ability to always get the job done. He's the kind of guy who can score a penalty in a Champions League final and then immediately start a debate about the best way to do laundry. He is a testament to the idea that hard work is a talent in itself. Talk of the town. His consistent, no-fuss performances and his hilarious, deadpan social media presence made boring James Milner become a cult phenomenon among fans. His value is a constant source of praise, and honestly, that might be his most underrated achievement. Daniele De Rossi. If Francesco Totti was Roma's king, Daniele De Rossi was its knight. A true Roma legend, De Rossi was a one-club man who dedicated his entire career to his hometown. He was a midfield general, a warrior who embodied the passion and aggression of Roman football. For most of his career, he played in the shadow of the more flamboyant Francesco Totti, but he was just as crucial to the club's identity. He was the unsung hero, the man who did the dirty work and protected his team's defense with a warrior's spirit. He was a leader, a fighter, and a symbol of what it means to play for a club you love. He was the loyal, no-nonsense bodyguard for Totti. While Totti was a rock star, De Rossi was the bouncer who made sure no one got near him. His quiet, brutal effectiveness was a joy to watch. Talk of the town. His unwavering loyalty and warrior-like attitude were so beloved in Rome that it was always a major point of discussion in the city. He was indeed a symbol of loyalty. Javier Chicharito Hernández. Chicharito was not a superstar striker, but he was one of the most effective goal scorers of his generation. He was known for his super sub role at Manchester United, where he would come off the bench and score crucial, late goals. His uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time was remarkable, but his lack of a starting role meant he was never considered a top-tier striker. He was a perfect example of a player who did his job and did it well, but never got the credit he deserved. He was a predator in the box, and a player who was a constant threat to defenders. This man lived for the 80th minute. Bring him on late, and defenders suddenly started sweating. Because if the ball dropped in the box, guess what? He was there. He was the ultimate bench warmer who could win you a game in 5 minutes. He's the guy who can show up late to the party and still be the life of it. Talk of the town. His sheer efficiency and his knack for scoring clutch, late goals made him a fan favorite and a nightmare for goalkeepers. He always brought excitement to the pitch. Jan Oblak. Finally, number 1. Literally. Jan Oblak is arguably the best goalkeeper of the last decade because he's the most underrated goalkeeper of the last decade. But his calm, collected style means he rarely makes a flashy save. He's all about positioning and intelligence, and he makes every difficult save look easy. He has been the rock of Atletico Madrid's defense for years, but he's often overshadowed by more flamboyant keepers who make more dramatic saves. He is a master of his craft, and his quiet brilliance is a testament to the idea that a good goalkeeper doesn't need to be flashy to be effective. He's the kind of guy who can defuse a bomb and make a sandwich at the same time without breaking a sweat. His pure, unadulterated excellence is a thing of beauty. Here's the thing, goalkeeping isn't about making things look hard. It's about making hard things look easy. And Oblak mastered that. Talk of the town, among goalkeeping coaches and purists, Oblak is worshipped. But among fans? Still criminally underrated. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe, cause I'll be posting frequently here.